kind of crooked, so I am trying to work with that. So hopefully you guys will get these notifications and stuff, and hopefully it's not too bad with this. Give you guys kind of a channel update. I do got some stuff coming. It's probably not going to come until March, but I wanted to make sure that I speak with you guys for a few minutes. I do have some things that I'm going to be working on as far as what I'll be doing with the channel. I will be doing some interviews with people coming up. I am getting software ready for that. So we'll give this a few minutes. Like I said, this is kind of an unplanned live. I'm going to try to get a little bit on a, try to get more on a regular schedule with posting videos out, going live and doing particular things. So, but as always, I like talking to you guys, hearing some of your thoughts, seeing if there's anything new in the UFO, UAP, paranormal world and everything else that's kind of going on. Because I do have other things I'll be working on with this channel too. So we'll give it a few minutes to see if you guys get notifications and if you guys join in or not. If you come on, let me know if it's a clear video, if it's not too clear, and how it is, and we will chit chat from that point. I did actually see she's, I think it's called Dark Skies. It may be Dark Skies. He actually put a video out on something similar that happened with the balloon that China sent over here earlier this week and last week and all that. They actually did something like that in 1944, I believe. And it was kind of funny. And I got to try to find that video and see if I can use some of the information from there to show it to you guys. But it was pretty interesting that they have done something like that before. That was, I believe it was in 1944, and I think it's Dark Skies because he's got a couple of different channels that he manages. I think he's got Dark Docs. That may be the other one. I can't remember right offhand, but it was pretty interesting to kind of see that. So I know a couple of you guys are joining in, so you have to tell me yay or nay if it's pretty clear. It looks pretty clear on this end, but you'll have to let me know. And since you guys are not talking, I guess I'm going to have to talk. It's clear. Okay, I appreciate that. In cloud. So I do. Oh, they just got out of focus somewhat, right? I do have some software now, so I will be. I know you guys have got some experiences and stuff, so I will be doing some interviews with some users from this channel about some of their experiences. And I do have other people I'm going to be talking to as well about UFO stuff, about sightings and seeing abductions. There's somebody who's talked to me about Bigfoot, which I thought was interesting, and they got a pretty interesting story. So I'm trying to do some testing with the software. Basically, you can send the link out, and kind of how we're talking right now, it'll be them talking too, and it'll kind of be like a little screen, probably if I get my finger right here with us kind of communicating back and forth. And it'll kind of be open for discussion, so the person will talk and tell their story, and then you guys can kind of jump in and ask questions. So we'll try to leave the questions for the very end, but we'll see how that pans out because it is going to be something new that I haven't done with this channel as far as doing interviews with people and stuff. So I appreciate that. He said I should definitely do interviews. Got to be a good interview for people. So I just got to make sure that when I do it, that my brain is clear, my plate's clear, and everything's clear. And I'll have a set of questions too to ask them. And probably what I may end up doing is I think it may be better to do a video of the person or their experience, and I'll see how this works out. And then after the video, I'll say, leave in the comments questions you guys may have, and then probably maybe several days after that, I'll say we'll do an interview with this person Friday night. So get your questions in, and then we can go through the questions from the video I post up about their story, and then we can ask them that in the interview process. And then, of course, there's probably going to be other questions too, but I kind of want to make it somewhat live so that there'll be a better interaction and stuff between us and the person that's being interviewed. So we'll see how all that plays out. It'll be interesting to see how the software and stuff works, but I think it should be pretty good when we start doing that. Like I said, it's not just going to be UFOs. I had somebody talking about Bigfoot. I think that's going to be pretty interesting. So, but other than that, I'm still working on my ARV, alien reproduction vehicle, versus the sport model. I'm trying to get some facts or some actual footage from Bob Lazar where he's talking about the functionality of it. That's one of the biggest things, and that's the biggest difference between the ARV and then also the sport model is the functionality of the two, kind of how they operate. Because I talked about that last time. There is a big differences. There's a big difference between the two. The construction of them, and I think I want to throw in probably one or two more things too for some comparisons when I start working on that. So, all right, T Hold, I appreciate you coming in. You said he can't stay late, but I won't be on here that long either. I wanted to go live with you guys just to chat with you for a few minutes. See what you guys are up to. See if there's anything new out there that you've heard about, or maybe any new experiences. I am trying to work on a website, but that probably won't be launched for probably for about another 3 to 5 months. That I'll have a website up and you guys can actually you could do some things when I get the website up. But that, like I said, it's about 3 to 5 months from now. So. Yeah, Tyler, I'm trying to divide time between the other channel, this channel, and everything else I got going on. But I do want to focus a little bit more of my effort towards this because basically I look at my day or my week and I just draw a pie and I kind of slice it up and then certain percentages go to things and I'm trying to get more stuff out. I'm trying to get this algorithm down because YouTube's kind of frustrating with the views and stuff, but I'm trying to get that down. I know they want a lot more shorts in it, so I'll be trying to put that out too. So some YouTube shorts and stuff. I mean, I've already reached the threshold of their 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours for this channel. So we'll see how that pans out. So. But like I said, this is an unplanned live, so I do appreciate you guys coming in. And we'll probably pick one day out the week we'll usually go live with. So, Tyler says I have a video I caught of an orb last year on my channel. Okay, and you're welcome to use it. Okay, I'll do that. I'll check your channel out after this and see kind of what you got out there. A lot of these orb or type of videos are actually starting to come up more. So I think that this is just me. I could be completely wrong. Within the next, I think, 3 to 5 years, we're actually going to start getting disclosure. Maybe in the next couple of years, kind of the way things are going right now, with everybody kind of catching stuff and videos coming out. And there's more and more channels, or there's more and more social media individuals getting on social media, kind of posting out what they see and talking more about it. So I think at some point in time, things will actually get out there. So, Class says, do you plan on getting big names like possibly? I need to do a couple things with the channels before I started getting some bigger names on here. And I do want to get my feet wet in doing the interview process. I'll probably have to fly out to a couple places too, and I got to get some better recording software and stuff. But I do plan on it. I just want to make sure that when I bring them in, it's seamless. I mean, it's just straightforward. We have questions set up. We can get enough viewers, and it's. I don't want to say it's a waste of time, but it's worth their time to get on. It's going to benefit them, and also educate you guys on whoever I bring on and whatever I'm going to bring them on for. So, if that makes sense, I don't want to start off with doing a big name and then the link doesn't work, they can't get on, and we plan to go live. Then there's all kinds of issues, or we go live and there's 20 people and we're expecting at least 100 people, and so I'm looking at things like that and how that whole interview process works. And I know with bigger names, there's probably things you have to do, maybe compensation wise, if you're going to keep them on for 30 minutes to an hour. I have to think about that, or what they may need or want if you do something like that. So I just gotta do that. But I want the channel to get a little bit bigger before I start doing it, because they do look at the channel, how long it's been up. This channel's just now barely 6 months old, so I think it's done pretty good for being 6 months old. But I need to get it to 10,000 subscribers before I start bringing on bigger names and stuff. But it is coming. So I have watched some of the Jeremy Corbell stuff. I haven't had a lot of time, but I'm actually going to make time tonight and watch some of that. So I will be looking at some of that because it's pretty interesting. Some of the stuff that they've had on it. I kind of skimmed through it. And I did hear you guys talk about that. So I will be watching Weaponized with Jeremy Corbell and George Napa. So I will be looking at that soon. So I think they post like every week. I think with that, I believe if they do, I think it is every week. So It's got a couple people up in here. What's going on, Ray? Tyler says, does anyone know why Stephen Greenstreet from the basement office hates Louis? I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm not gonna speculate. Who knows? Sometimes people don't like other people for just odd reasons. So Jimmy says Stephen Greenstreet pisses me off. I haven't even heard of the guy. And maybe I've seen him somewhere and just kind of ignored it. My focus for me is to continue to try to grow this channel and give you guys some of the stuff you want. I know the main focus has been UFOs, UAPs, and other things, paranormal stuff. There's been some people talking to me about ghost experiences. I don't know if you guys want to hear that. I've actually experienced some of the paranormal stuff, like demonic beings and stuff. But I was trying not to get too much into that because it does fall into some of the religious aspects too. And I probably at some point in time next year I will start another channel about that stuff. But uh, somebody asked me about going certain places, Skinwalker Ranch, and all that, and I was like, "Nah, you going out there." But there have been people talking about particular experiences like that, and somebody was telling me years and years ago about UFOs being dimensional and all that. So I thought that was a pretty interesting thing. So we'll have people on the channel if I can talk to them and get them to interview, because some people don't want to interview, believe it or not. Some people just want to leave it where it's at because they've been ridiculed. If I can get them on the channel and do some live interviews, we'll allocate about an hour. We can talk about that and talk about their experiences, and you can see their facial expression. A lot of times, you can tell if people are telling the truth from actual facial expressions and not just from a recorded video. Sometimes people, they have cameras around them, they're shy, they've never been, and so I I believe if you get them one on one and they're telling their story, you can actually tell from their body language, facial expressions, and all kinds of stuff what kind of person that is. You can't define it just by one thing. You have to me, see them for 5 to 10 minutes of talking just to see their body language and everything. So, but we'll start covering it as time progresses. But I think the best thing to do is for me to, for the first one, try to do a video on their experience, and then 3 days later, go live with that person. I don't think it'd be good to do the video that day and then go live with them later that night, because the channel's not getting the views for it just yet. But I think it may be good to do that and then give you guys ahead of time. Maybe schedule it to go live. If I did a video, let's say Monday on them, and then say we'll go live Thursday to bring this person on and talk to them one on one about it. Maybe allocate about an hour for that, and that way it'll be more planned out. Because right now my lives are like, I'm just gonna go live and talk to you guys. So, oh, the UAPs, that stuff's not going anywhere. Trust me, that's gonna be at least covered, at least 2 or 3 times a week, because there's too much information out there for that. So that's not going anywhere at all. There was a video I saw, um, she's about 2 years ago. A guy did a video. He classified over 100 different aliens, and he had drawings and stuff, which was pretty interesting. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about that at some point in time. So okay, in classes, check out Panda. Okay, I'll check that out. He reported historical UFOs, UAP cases. Okay, I'll check that out. Ray said he saw a shadow man in Dallas. So there was I got a story if you guys want to hear this or not. Um, it's not UFO related, it's kind of paranormal related. I don't know if you guys want to hear some. I'm trying to look through your comments too. I've heard several different stories, but this one was pretty. I used to know a friend. I've heard several different things. So I don't know if you guys want to hear some of this. This doesn't more or less pertain to UFO stuff, but it pertains more to the paranormal stuff. I got a couple I could tell you guys about, and I actually probably actually do some videos and do some visuals and stuff like that. But if you guys want to hear that, let me know. If not, we'll just continue to chat. Human manipulations too. Try to say that 5 times without stuttering right. The basement. Okay, I'll have to watch that too. Johnny, I have not, but that's going to be something for me to look at. And you guys don't realize you help me out too. Realize when I do get some emails from people, sometimes I don't always respond back. I do look at comments, so I'm not involved in this as much as I should be. But you guys tell me about stuff. I'm like, oh, I never heard about that. Then I'll go check it out, and I'll be like, oh, cool, that's interesting. And I'll start trying to do more videos on some of those interesting topics too. So I appreciate that, Max. Jimmy said, "Let's hear it." Ray said, "Let's hear it." Ray says, "Please." So all right. There's a couple of instances. So I know this guy. I'm not gonna say his name, but he said one day he was down at this place called Magic City, and Magic City in Atlanta is a shoe model club. It's down in a certain part of the city, and strippers and all that, whatever. But he's had a couple instances. One of his instances was he said he was back behind Magic City, and he had two of his dogs with him, and his dogs started going crazy, and they started barking and all that stuff. And he was like, "What's wrong with y'all?" And he kept snapping at the chains and the leashes on them or whatever. And he said the dogs all of a sudden turn. You know how dogs stop and they stare at something, like they just stood there staring. They were growling. And he said he looked behind the building of Magic City, and he saw this manifestation of, he said, this, what we were talking about, basically how the story came about was we were talking about Mary Kay Baxter's, I think it's 40 Days in Hell or something. And she talked about how she saw a demonic being down there that had the body of a bear and had wings like a bat and had a face like a bat. And we were talking about it, and he said, that's crazy. And then that's when he told me the Magic City story. He said he saw the same thing. He's back there with his dogs. His dogs were going crazy. And he kept trying to snap, telling them, "What, y'all going crazy? Ain't nothing over there." And he said this being actually manifested really slow. He said he just saw it kind of just appear. And he said it looked at him. He was like, "Are you kidding me?" I think he said it was about 8 or 9 feet tall. He said it was huge, though. I mean, he said it just like Mary Kay Baxter. He said it had like the body of a bear. It was huge. But he said it was bigger, but it had like the face of a bat and the wings of a bat. And he said he saw the exact same thing. And I said, "So what happened?" And he said he kept pulling his dogs away. And he was like, "I told the thing, whatever it was, you stay over there and we're going to go back up front." And when they started going back up front, he told his brother about it. They came back and it was gone. So how true that is, I don't know. But this person never really lied about stuff and never made stuff up. And like I said, we were just talking about that. And that was just pretty interesting. So MF just joined. Where was this at? This happened over 15 years ago in Atlanta, Georgia. So Magic City is a place that's got a lot of interesting stuff going on. What he was doing down there, don't know, don't care. That was his business. But I've had friends that I've talked to about that kind of stuff. I had another friend. I'm not going to say his name either, but he did tell me about, because he was Haitian, and he did tell me about a lot of stuff. Like a lot of people I associate with or talk to, especially back then, we were talking about a lot of that stuff. But he did say something like some pharmaceutical dealers, because YouTube is kind of interesting with their words on it. He said every morning when he was living in Florida, the pharmaceutical dealers would go out and they'd always, find pharmaceutical products in the street. And he said he always kind of wondered what the heck was going on. Now, how true all this stuff is, I don't know, because I wasn't there, but they just told me this. He said, so one night he stayed up and he saw the pharmaceutical sellers go out right around sunset, and they were doing all kinds of dances and praises and praying in the streets. He said it was kind of crazy. And then they left. So he said he got up around 12 o'clock, and he said he looked down the street and he saw this Casper-like being. He said, looked just like Casper, but it looked like Casper in real life. He said floating down the street, just dropping pieces of pharmaceutical products in the street. And I was like, what? And he said, I knew you wouldn't believe me. I said, no, I'm saying what? Like, what the heck? And he said the next morning they would come and they'd pick it up and they'd go do their business. How true all that stuff is, that was my first time of hearing some stuff like that. But it was interesting, and it's something I just kind of put into my memory of archive for it. So I know that stuff is not related to so much of the UFO, but it's related more to the paranormal stuff. So, and I'm getting out of focus here. I shouldn't be. There we go. So that's some of the stuff that I've talked to people about. I mean, there's tons of stories people have told me about over the years. I mean, it's been very interesting. So yeah, Incline, I've heard it too. He said, I've heard that if you have dreams about UFOs or aliens, you're likely to be visited. Um, some of the people that have been abducted have thought they were having a dream, but it was realistic. You guys are no strangers to that. I mean, if you're new to it, some people said they've had dreams where they've seen beings or alien beings come into the room. They're paralyzed. They're taken above on some ship in some room, and there are all kinds of stuff kind of being done with them, which was very interesting. I've never had that happen to me. I mean, if it does, it's gonna be on, and I'll be live on YouTube. Y'all, he tried to come into my room, and this is what happens. So, Jimmy says I can point you to an RC video about six egg-shaped UFOs in it, and I told him, but he never answered. Yeah, if you can, Johnny, contact me on my email, or if you can, try to put a link in there. Sometimes I have my links disabled on YouTube because sometimes people give some crazy stuff. But the email is littlekingdombuilder@gmail.com. I'd be interested in looking at that. I filmed one several years ago at a park, and I didn't pay any attention to it. And in one of those videos, right by, and I looked back at it, and I was like, oh dang, I can't remember what video it was, but I was at a park um, here in Georgia, and I was filming, my RC cars running and stuff, and somebody actually saw it, and I didn't pay no attention to it. And I was like, oh, that was now. It was unidentified. Somebody said it might have been a bug. It would have been a pretty big and fast bug, but I had my camera up close to me, so it wasn't like it flew in front of my camera like that. It flew in the distance. So how true that is, I don't know, and I probably should have kept that video, but or I probably should remember what video it was, but so she says she's had dreams, but she's never been abducted. Not that you know of. Yeah. Might want to get an X-ray. Make sure you ain't got nothing in your arms and stuff. I've only seen a few. You guys know about some of the experiences. The video I posted earlier today, uh, it just freaked me out for one second. Not freaked me out like crazy, but seeing that bluish white light was kind of what I saw years and years ago. It was about 15 years ago or so. Me and my friend, we were walking outside, and we were upstairs in our room talking and stuff. And what was funny was when we walked outside, the light, the whatever it was a bright orb, was right there where her window was. Like if this was the house and this was where her window was, my top finger, it was like right there. And I don't know why I didn't see us leaving down there, but when I walked out the door, it was right up there, and I looked up, and it was there, and it was just gone. And I was like, "Did you see that?" So seeing those videos, those first two videos I showed you guys today, that reminded me of that. But those didn't fly off. I mean, that color is, I couldn't describe the color because it's like a whitish, bluish color about it. And that was pretty interesting. So that's kind of why I put that video out too, to see if you guys, and I got to go back to some of those comments to see if you guys seen some stuff like that. But we got somebody from India in the house. Hey, what's going on? Do you have footage of UFO encounters from India? I did put a few up. You got to check back in the channel, some of the video archives. There was a few up. Sometimes people will send me stuff and I don't get an exact location and date, so that's kind of why I don't mention it. And people say you say unknown in the video, but um, there was one or two I did put up of one that looked somewhat like a sport model. I believe that was in India. And then there was one with somebody in a church too, if I can recall. So there are a few out there. I don't know which exact videos they are, but there are a few that are out there. So okay, you ain't got no implants, so that's good. Do I have ex-military stories about any UAP encounters? I didn't see any when I was in there, and that's one of the reasons why I went to the military. But I screwed that up because I wanted to work at Area 51. I went completely the opposite route. But my friend's husband does. I told you guys about that. He said, I don't know why this is trying to get out of focus again. His story was, and maybe I should get him on the channel for the first interview. But he was on a Navy ship, and I think he said he saw something come out the water too. The same thing as William Cooper or Bill Cooper saw. His story was pretty fascinating too. He wrote the book Behold a Pale White Horse. He talked about the end time prophecy and a lot of things in there. But this was about a year ago. I was at his house and we were talking about it. And I didn't know he had this experience, but he knew I had thought about starting this channel and all that. He knew I did some UFO stuff on my other channel. And he told me the story that he saw something come out. Of course, he came in there and the commander said, "You didn't see nothing. You didn't see nothing." Seaman, getting in his face, like telling him, "Hey, you're here. You didn't see nothing." And so maybe I'll get him on too at some point. His story's short, but maybe I'll get him and maybe keep him on for 15 minutes and find someone else. I know there's a couple of them out there with it, but we'll see. I think the new series that Jeremy Corbell and them is doing, I think anything that brings someone of that caliber that Jeremy and George are doing is good. It's good for the community because it's going to bring more eyes to it. I think that the more we have out here, the better. There's a lot of fake stuff out here, and we know that. And some people get mad at me because I put some of these videos on my channel, but I want people to see that because every day we get probably 50 plus new people to this community, and some of them may see some hoaxes. So they need to know if I have a video out there and it's fake, and you guys see it in the comments, it's like, okay, that's fake. But I think that what they're doing is good. I think it'll evolve over time like anything else. It's still kind of in the infant stage, but I think over time it'll get better. And they've got a lot of knowledge and experience too. I don't think Bob's gonna come on. I think Bob's pretty much burned out on the whole thing, but they may get him on there. Maybe he'll talk about what is that? Something I think it's called the Yellow Pages or the Yellow Bible you guys talked about, where Bob Lazar hasn't talked about it anymore, but he said that there was a book that he saw and he opened up, and every time he turned the page, I think it played an animation or something like that. It was like a still image, but when he turned the page over, I believe it played like an animation of what the image was or something like that. So maybe he'll talk about that because I still can't find a video on that, and I can't remember the name. I think it was something Bible or something everybody tried to define it as. So yeah, Kim, I'm gonna start off slow with the interviews. I gotta get the rhythm for it. I gotta get a good formula or template for it. I want to make sure that when I start getting bigger names on, stuff's not messing up because that's gonna give me and the channel a bad name. That's not gonna be a good representation for you guys. So I do want to start off kind of small, get the feel for it, test this new software I have, test some backgrounds. I do got a blue screen upstairs, so I do want to kind of test that to see how that's gonna go. And then this keeps getting out of focus a little bit. I'm not moving that much. And then also, when I do that, I can actually pull up stuff on the internet. We can look at a couple of videos and stuff too. So I'm not moving that much. I don't know why it's getting out of focus. So what's going on, Rob? Appreciate you joining in. If you guys can, smash that like button for me. Part of the live thing is to talk to you guys, but it's also to get this freaking YouTube algorithm down as well. So yeah, Jimmy, I was thinking that. I went about it completely wrong. Um, I went in thinking that if I joined the Air Force, and my mind said I was young. I should have asked more about it, but I was young and dumb and trying to be strong. But I was going in thinking that if I went in for security and then tried to do pararescue combat control, infantry, and all that, they would say, "Hey, look at this young bright star we got. Let's get him top secret clearance and send him over here." That didn't work right. That didn't work out well. They sent me over to England. I was over at Lakenheath, but it was actually a mobility base. And then half of my other squad was over at Mildenhall, which is kind of a relaxed base. But I hated Lakenheath was a mobility base, so we were always drilling and all that stuff. Um, and then I was, like I said, that's the reason why I was like, man, I want to work at Area 51. I don't know how I'm gonna get there, and I didn't get there. But it would have been cool though. And if I did, I wouldn't be on YouTube right now. I'd still be over there, maybe a master sergeant, or maybe who knows. But if I got in there, I'd be over there. But that was my curiosity, back then. But I went about it completely wrong. So you don't just go over there and get in there. So have I seen any recent? No, I have not. Um, Sometimes it's kind of hard to find videos. I mean, now there's Rumble out there, so Rumble's got some pretty good stuff. I do have a Rumble account, but it's I put a video up, I get like one view. Rumble's got hasn't gotten that much on the UFO and UAP stuff. I think it'll get there, but Rumble's kind of like YouTube in a way. Um, so there may be some stuff on Rumble since it's fairly new. I think you can find better videos that are recent more than you could on YouTube, even though you can search on YouTube for it. But I think some of the YouTube does not like the word UFO. I mean, if you do hashtag UFO, you will not find anything. If you do hashtag UAP, Area 51, Bob Lazar, etc., the list goes on, you'll find all that. But you won't find anything hashtag UFO, which I think is pretty interesting with that, which makes it kind of hard to find some older videos before the term UAP came out. So, no, Rob, we haven't seen those hearings, congressional hearings put on by Steven. No, I haven't. Maybe someone here has. So, let's see. Yeah, with the new whistleblower, yeah, that's actually pretty interesting too. I'm glad you guys brought that up. So there's something new that the government's talking about, and it's basically anybody who's seen stuff um, that's going on. And maybe I should just do an update video on that instead of trying to explain it here, because it's a little bit more detailed than what I'm going to talk about here. But basically, they're letting you know if you've seen something or experienced something, you can kind of come out without, being smacked on the hand with it. So I think that with that, and thanks for bringing that up, Brian, that we'll probably see a lot more people who are in the military come out with some of the stuff that they've seen um, over time. I think that I think that's why I said 2023 we're going to start seeing more people come out, because now there's no repercussions. There's no, hey, we're taking away your pay or anything like that. They say, hey, come out and tell us what you saw, or tell us what you heard. Hopefully we can get some actual video footage and some photos or something. Testimonies are fine, but we need some photos. We need something more to go by. I think that's going to make whatever case comes up, more credible than, the eyewitness testimony. So, okay, Rob, we'll do. Yeah, I think. Well, it depends on what you're trying to do. Rob said, don't you have to have college degree to become an officer and get security clearances? It probably all depends on a lot of stuff. Some of those security guards at Area 51, I'm pretty sure they ain't got no college degree. They probably just got experience. Like I said, I was young and dumb going in there. I did have a little bit of college experience. I was working on my associates, and I decided to go to the military, blah blah. So I probably should have went a different path for it, but I didn't. I was just kind of just jumping straight in and just seeing how far I could swim. So, and I actually did not swim far. I didn't go where I wanted to go, but it's fine. I got out and I started doing other things, and here I am today, years later. So the Dr. Norman Bergen story, I don't know. I got to look that up too. You guys are bringing some interesting things to me, which I like. It lets me do some research and study on that. So, Eddie 1229, you said y'all check this video out. It's the best UFO one. It's the best one I've seen yet. Um, the link may have gotten disabled, so we'll have to re-enable it. Maybe I'll post it on the channel later on and see what's going on with this. Yeah, and actually, I invested in Rumble too. Its stock was at, I think, $11, and it dropped to like six, and now it's back up to about 10 or $11. So it's probably gonna pick up pretty good because, like I said, the format is kind of like YouTube. Um, it'll probably be by the end of the year in the 20s. That's just my predictions. No, this is not financial advice, but I do have some shares in Rumble, so I think that's gonna actually pick up and be pretty good in the next couple of years. Yeah, Rob says actual retired members of Congress heard a lot of testimonies from top of researchers. Yeah, I think that not everybody in the government is naive. I think that some people truly want to find out what's going on. Some people may not be trying to be oblivious to what's going on. Of course, we got people that are trying to cover it up, but I think that some people really want to see what's going on. So I don't think everybody is against not sharing with us. I think that some people just truly don't know. And now that this is actually progressing forward, we may start seeing something. It's taking them a while, though. I don't know why it's still taking Congress forever to do stuff, but I think we'll start seeing more stuff. Yeah, that is true, Brian. So Johnny says it's on YouTube. It's RC Adventures Traxxas X Max Airtime, a monster truck. He says that the timestamp of 137, you see it. Okay, I'll try to go back and try to find that. What's going on, Steve? Appreciate you joining. Appreciate you guys joining and smashing the like button. We're just open questions. We're doing this. I'm trying to do this once a week until we start doing interviews and stuff. Just to say hi to you guys, talk to you guys for a minute, because I do. You guys do bring some new information to me, or something I've maybe not have heard about, or maybe you want to see on the channel. So yes, it is, Brian. Andrew Tate's the only one making money on Rumble. He's the only one cashing in. So, what's my favorite type of pizza topping? So normally every Wednesday I get pizza. Just Wednesday's always pizza night, pizza movie night. I haven't been doing it a while, but the last pizza I got was sausage and pepperoni from Domino's. Normally I do that, and I do a pasta or get a works pizza from Papa John's. So hopefully that answers your question on that. I'm a meat eater. I'm a carnivore. So I do a lot of working out, and I do eat a lot. Somebody asked me yesterday how many calories I eat a day. I said I eat about 4 to about 6,000 calories a day, which is a lot. Normally it's today has been about, I don't know, about 3,000, which I need to eat some more, which I will in just a bit, but that's only because of what I do when I work out and stuff. So Johnny says I don't know how to eat my. He can just tell me what he's seen. Okay, what's going on, Luke? How are you doing? I try not to do the Patreon stuff too much, but I know that people have donated money to the channel and all that. I appreciate it, because I'm not doing it to say, hey, give me money. And I haven't talked about the merch either. Um, Certain people want to know about it. I think I'm going to change it from UFO conspiracy, the truth is out there, to UFO conspiracies, the truth is coming. Instead of saying, putting it out there, the words, the truth is out there, that's kind of like, okay, it's out there, but where? But if I put more, it's coming, I think it's going to just change people's mindsets just a little bit. So yeah, likes and stuff are doing pretty good. So I appreciate you guys liking. So I'm just trying to get this algorithm down on YouTube. So I'll probably start doing more premiere videos. I have a premiere probably once a week, and it's probably going to start on Wednesdays. It's probably going to start with the sport model versus the ARV, because that's one I've been kind of jotting some notes down and trying to get some information on. So it's no problem, Johnny. So we'll probably end this in a few minutes. If you guys have any questions for me, ask away real quick. Scroll down to the bottom of here. William said, "How many UFOs have I seen?" Um, I've never counted. I saw some in the '80s. I saw some in the '90s. I didn't see any when I was overseas in England. Um, I did see when I was flying over to England. I remember looking out the window and looking at the iceberg stuff. I did see something fly by a couple times, and it kind of freaked me out, but I didn't say anything because I'm new to the military. I didn't want to. Who knows? I was just like, man, whatever. Let's see what happens with that. So I don't know how many I've seen, but I know I've seen some. I've never like sat down and documented them and stuff. So yeah, comments help the algorithm. Um, YouTube's algorithm, no, it's hard to figure this thing out. I mean, sometimes it just hits. One time it just really hits, and then you're there. So I'm trying to just wait for this to hit and be patient for that. Because when it hits, it will give me a little bit more motivation to focus more on things for the channel, better video content quality and stuff. So it's still just pushing through it. So I appreciate it, William. I'm trying to do the best I can at the time that I have. You guys will start seeing a lot more shorts, which I think is going to be interesting. I got a lot more things with people talking and all that. Yep, I was in the Air Force. No problem. Because I don't put my face on the videos. I probably should. Um, I know that looking at the psychology of YouTube and how things are, when you start putting your face with your videos, it gets a little bit more personal and people tend to watch more. And, it's like putting a face, and I'm not saying I'm famous like that, but like with an actor and stuff. So by putting a face with the video, I know that it ties you more in with the person. But I have to get some better filming software and some hardware too. I mean, I'm working with all that, but I figure at least in the live stream, you guys, I can talk to you, and I'm not, I guess, prearranging what I'm gonna say. You can kind of see my reactions, and as I talk to you guys and answer questions and stuff. So I think that kind of helps out too. Oh, Rob, I appreciate you joining. I appreciate you watching and stuff too. So all right, y'all, I'm gonna get off of here. Stay tuned. Like I said, it's probably gonna be another week or two before I start getting these interviews down. I'm definitely gonna be doing it with somebody soon to kind of get the format down and see how it goes, making sure everything's fine with it, and then we're gonna build it up from there. What I'll do is once we get it down, I'm gonna try to get a schedule together, and then try to do it at least once a week. Getting someone on, even if it's just for a few minutes, and they're talking about they saw two or three things and this is what they saw, and you guys can ask them questions and we can communicate with the person from there, and then you can see their reactions and stuff, and you can kind of tell from their actions, how believable their story is. So what's going on, UAP Society? We're about to end this in just a minute. We've been live for about 40 minutes. So I think these notifications from YouTube come out pretty slow, but I do appreciate you joining in these last few minutes that we're on here. Unless you guys want me to stay on for another 3 minutes. We've been on for 42 minutes, so I said I was only going to stay on for 30, but we're on for 40. Unless someone has one quick question, I can answer in 2.5 minutes, or a question for somebody else. I appreciate it, Luke. I am trying to get this going, so. Johnny says you spoiled angels. My favorite UFO channel. I don't even know if I really have one. I don't think I really have one. I mean, we watch Secure Team 10. The Y-Files is good. He's bringing a lot of information out, and I know when he did the whole or the whole ARV vehicle, he was kind of concerned, but I don't think he should be concerned. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because the information he put out there is already out there, and he's not trying to create anything that's gonna defy, electricity and give us free electricity, stuff like that. He's just giving out information. That's all he's doing, and what he's giving out is already out here. So it's not like he's researching and he's coming up with new information and he's contacting, McDonnell Douglas, Northrop, and all of them. It's not like he's doing that. The information he gave is already out there, and I know he talked about it. So I was like, he doesn't have too much to worry about. He did put out some information that was very, very sensitive in a way, but I don't think he has anything to worry about. I think he's doing a great job, especially where he was and where he's come. His channel's about 3 years old now, so we'll do, Brian. Yeah, I think we all love the Y-Files, and they do it once a week, which is good, and they're doing great. So all right, y'all, I'm about to get off here. I got several things I still got to do before the night ends. Probably won't be going to bed till 3 or 4 o'clock anyway. But as always, I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, as you guys have. Subscribe, share this with your friends, and stay tuned for the next video. Appreciate you guys watching.